All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Abhishek Mukhopadhyay at the headlines. Government to set up Central Consumer Protection Authority by the first week of April. All members of FATF barring Turkey ask Pakistan to honour its commitments to stop terror funding before June this year. Kashi Mahakal Express linking 3 Jyotirlingas to begin commercial run from Varanasi this afternoon. China decides to postpone new semester of several universities in the wake of COVID-19. And in sports, Indian wrestlers win 3 bronze medals in Greco-Roman events at the Asian Wrestling Championships in New Delhi. Food Minister Ram Vilas Paswan said the Central Consumer Protection Authority CCPA will be set up by the first week of April this year. The CCPA to be set up under Consumer Protection Act 2019 will address issues related to consumer rights, unfair trade practices, misleading advertisements and impose penalties for selling spurious and adulterated products. Briefing reporters in New Delhi after interaction with industry bodies on the roles and functions of CCPA, Mr. Paswan said an investigative wing will be formed under the aegis of the authority and it will carry out inquiries in matters related to unfair trade practices and misleading advertisements. He also said the rules related to Consumer Protection Act will be finalized within 1.5 months. The minister asserted that protecting the interest of consumers is paramount for the government. During the meeting with industry bodies, Mr. Paswan also stressed on the need to regulate e-commerce and direct selling as there is no regulatory body for these sectors right now. In a significant development, all the members of the Financial Action Task Force, FATF except Turkey, are learned to have sent a stern message to Pakistan to complete its commitments on action against terror financing before June this year. Even Pakistan's all-weather friend China and Saudi Arabia have joined hands with India, US and the European countries in this move. Ahead of the FATF plenary session in June, a subgroup tasked to review Pakistan's case has recommended that Islamabad should continue to be in a grey list for its failure to check terror funding. It has stopped short of recommending the country for the blacklist. And now news about US President's visit to India.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you my friend, a friend of India, a great American president, Mr. Donald Trump.
One of America's greatest, most devoted, and most loyal friends, Prime Minister Modi of India.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi and US President Donald Trump will hold extensive talks on the 25th of this month to deepen cooperation in a range of key sectors, including defense and trade. Briefing media in New Delhi yesterday, Foreign Secretary Harshvardhan Shringla said the US President will be accompanied by a high-level delegation on his 2-day visit to India. Mr. Trump is scheduled to visit India on the 24th of February. The Foreign Secretary said the visit will have 3 legs: Ahmedabad, Agra and New Delhi. President Trump will address the Namaste Trump event jointly with Prime Minister Modi at the newly built Motera Cricket Stadium in Ahmedabad. Our correspondent has filed this report.
This will be President Trump's first visit to India. It is also going to be the first standalone visit by a US President to India. The highlight of the program in Ahmedabad will be the exhibition of India's rich and diverse culture and heritage to President Trump in a public manner that has few parallels in India or elsewhere. From the moment of their arrival at the airport in Ahmedabad, the delegates will be treated to a display of famed Indian hospitality and India's unity in diversity. The route of their travel to the Motera Stadium is expected to have thousands of people as well as artists showcasing the performing art from different states and union territories. President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump would then visit Agra, where they would spend about an hour at the Taj Mahal before heading for Delhi. Suparna Sekya, AIR News, Delhi.
External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar inaugurated the Indian Pavilion yesterday at the Berlin International Film Festival, for which 3 feature films and 1 documentary from the country have been selected. Information and Broadcasting Ministry, in collaboration with the Confederation of Indian Industry, CII, is participating in the 70th edition of the festival. Earlier, Dr. Jaishankar held a meeting with his German counterpart, Heiko Maas, and thanked him for the support of his country in expanding cooperation between India and the European Union, EU. The External Affairs Minister, who was in Germany during the weekend for the Munich Security Conference, arrived in Berlin on Monday to prepare the ground for Prime Minister Narendra Modi's planned visit for the India-EU summit in Brussels next month. The Kashi Mahakal Express, the third private train of the IRCTC, will start from today. The train service will link the three Jyotirlingas, Omkareshwar near Indore, Mahakaleshwar in Ujjain, and Kashi Vishwanath in Varanasi. First Kashi Mahakal train will start from Varanasi this afternoon and will reach Indore tomorrow morning on the day of Mahashivratri. This is also the first overnight journey train run by IRCTC. Chief Regional Manager of IRCTC, Ashwini Srivastav, told AIR News that apart from giving high-class facilities, IRCTC is also offering tour packages of Omkareshwar.
इस गाड़ी में जो लोग यात्रा करेंगे उनके किराए में खानपान सम्मिलित है। जो लोग वहां जाकर पैकेज का लाभ उठाना चाहते हैं और उज्जैन के अलावा ओंकारेश्वर के दर्शन भी करना चाहते हैं और वहां ठहरने की व्यवस्था चाहते हैं, उनके लिए हमने आईआरसीटीसी के पैकेज भी लॉन्च किए हैं, जिसके माध्यम से वो दर्शन और घूमने का आनंद उठा सकते हैं।
Flagged off by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Sunday, the train will cover 1,131 kilometers between Varanasi and Indore via Lucknow and a distance of 1,102 kilometers between Varanasi and Indore via Prayagraj in approximately 19 hours. Light devotional music, 2 dedicated private guards in every coach and only vegetarian meals are some of the features of the fully 3 AC service. The train will run thrice a week between Varanasi and Indore. Minister of State for Road Transport and Highways General V.K. Singh will today review the progress of Char Dham project. General Singh is visiting Uttarakhand to review the progress of the project with engineers and officials. The minister will also conduct aerial survey of the area. Char Dham National Highway Connectivity Program was launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in 2016. The project aims to improve the connectivity to the Char Dham pilgrimage centers in the Himalayas, making journey to these centers safer, faster and more convenient. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts. Chinese authorities have decided to postpone the new semester of several universities, including Southwest University. In a meeting with the Chinese ambassador recently, Health Secretary Preeti Sudan has raised the issue of students who had returned from China and been asked by the universities to join back or lose their admission. Chinese embassy has informed Union Health Ministry that the State Council of China has decided to postpone the new semester of universities in the wake of the deadly coronavirus outbreak. The students will be notified by the respective universities. Niti Aayog, along with top executives of the pharma industry and senior government officials, discussed ways to boost domestic manufacturing of active pharmaceutical ingredients, APIs. The discussion was held amid concerns over supply disruption from China due to the COVID-19 outbreak. The meeting, chaired by Niti Aayog CEO Amitabh Kant, came a day after Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said the government will soon announce measures to deal with the impact of the outbreak on the domestic industry. The meeting was attended by Pharmaceuticals Department Secretary P.D. Waghela, Biocon's Kiran Majumdar-Shaw, Zydus Pankaj Patel and Dr. Reddy's Laboratories Satish Reddy. Meanwhile, 6 Chinese nationals who arrived in Arunachal Pradesh in the past few days were put under surveillance yesterday and advised to report to the health officials in case of symptoms of cough and fever. 2 people have died yesterday in Iran after testing positive for the new coronavirus, Islamic Republic's first cases of the disease. In Japan, 1 more Indian aboard a quarantine cruise ship, Diamond Princess, has been tested positive for the COVID-19, taking the number of Indian nationals infected with the virus on the vessel to 7. Now moving on to our series, Har Kaam Desh Ke Naam. In this series, we take a look at the programs and policies of the government aimed at reaching out to the last mile of development and welfare of all. On 21st of February 2016, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had launched the Shama Prasad Mukherjee Rarban Mission to drive economic, social and infrastructure development in rural areas. Mr. Modi had said the mission intends to bridge the rural-urban divide by bringing civic and infrastructural amenities to clusters of villages and making them smarter, evolving a new mantra for urbanization.
ग्रामीण और शहरी दोनों को एक साथ मिला दिया, वो है रर्बन, जिसका मतलब है कि विकास ऐसा हो जिसकी आत्मा गांव की हो और सुविधा शहर की हो।
Under the mission, 288 urban clusters with thematic economic growth points have been developed across the country. Urban clusters are identified across the country's rural areas, showing increasing signs of urbanization. The mission aims to transform these urban clusters by stimulating local economic development, enhancing basic services, and creating well-planned urban clusters. Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat program has been promoting India's unity and diversity across the country. Under the scheme, Sikkim has been paired with Delhi for cultural exchanges. A report from a correspondent.
A national integration camp is scheduled in the last week of February at Chimche, South Sikkim as part of this campaign where over 250 youth and cultural troops will perform. Gangtok-based senior journalist Neeta Niras, who hails from Delhi, speaks about the highlights of her over 4 decades stay in Sikkim.
I like Sikkimese life, way, style, everything, culture, which one must see and learn and imbibe.
Gangtok-based Tara Prasad Dhungel, who would participate in the National Integration Camp in South Sikkim, shares his expectations.
इस शिविर में निश्चित रूप से विभिन्न राज्यों और संस्कृति के बीच सहज संगति के साथ एकता और शांति का निर्माण होगा। सभी लोग अपने अपने राज्य से अपना अपना वेशभूषा, खानपान और संस्कृति को प्रदर्शन करेंगे।
For Sikkim's youth, the camp would be an opportunity to explore Delhi's culture and tradition as well as to showcase their own lifestyle. With Saikat Sarkar, Parijat Sharma from Gangtok for AIR.
Arunachal Pradesh is celebrating its 34th statehood day today. It attained statehood on February 20th, 1987. Home Minister Amit Shah will attend the celebrations at Itanagar. More from a correspondent.
Home Minister will launch a slew of projects on the occasion. He will launch the Arunachal Pradesh Industrial and Investment Policy 2020, inaugurate the Joram Koloriang Road constructed by BRO, lay the foundation stone of the new headquarters of the State Police, along with other projects. Union Ministers Kiran Rijiju and Dr. Jitendra Singh will also attend the function. Rakesh Dole, AIR News, Itanagar.
Ashu, Aditya Kundu and Hardeep have won a bronze medal each in their respective weight categories in Greco-Roman events of the Asian Wrestling Championships in New Delhi yesterday. While Ashu won a bronze in the 67kg category, Aditya and Hardeep also bagged the medals of the same color in the 72kg and 97kg respectively on the second day of the competitions. India has so far 5 medals in the championships after Sunil Kumar's historic gold in the 87kg and Arjun Halakurki's bronze in the 55kg Greco-Roman category on Tuesday. And now for an overview of today's newspapers, it's over to Subhadra Ramachandran.
Thank you, Abhishek. Newspapers have led with different stories this morning. Hindustan Times quoting US President Donald Trump writes, saving a big deal with India for later. On Green Push, the business line says, government revamps crop cover scheme, prunes premium subsidy. The paper adds that to plug loopholes, government makes scheme voluntary for farmers. Cabinet Committee on Security CCS okays $2.6 billion deal for 24 US naval copters, reports the Pioneer. Supreme Court mediators failed to convince Shaheen Bagh women to shift is the lead in the Asian age. On the failure of the Congress to find a new president after all these months, the Indian Express writes, now Sandeep Dixit speaks up on leadership. Who will build the cat? And finally, in a front page story, the Times of India headlines, Muslim to head Lingayat Mutt. The paper adds that the Lingayat Mutt in Gadag district of North Karnataka is set to make a Muslim youth, Diwan Sharif Rahiman Saab Mullah, its pontiff. With that, it's back to you, Abhishek.
Thank you, Subhadra. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Government to set up Central Consumer Protection Authority by the first week of April. All members of FATF barring Turkey ask Pakistan to honour its commitments to stop terror funding before June this year. Kashi Mahakal Express linking 3 Jyotirlingas to begin commercial run from Varanasi this afternoon. China decides to postpone new semester of several universities in the wake of COVID-19. And in sports, Indian wrestlers win 3 bronze medals in the Greco-Roman events at the Asian Wrestling Championships in New Delhi. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.